What is really going on, everybody? If you don't know, now you do know. You're officially tuned in to a very special edition of the HFWB podcast series. This is your host, Clifton Pope, and with me today, I just have pretty much a goddess within herself as far as what she's doing overall, and it's incredible because, quick story time for everybody. Once upon a time, a lot of people don't know this, I myself used to be a rapper until I kind of put that side of me away. But the person who I'm bringing on, I feel like is reviving the Corpus Christi music scene within itself since 2011 and 12, back in the days when I was rapping with the people who I was rapping with. So I feel great about who I'm about to bring on. If you don't know who I'm talking about at this point, you really, really should, because she's shaking up the game like I've never seen before. Last I checked, she just put together the first all-female cypher, which is a first and something we're going to talk about. Please welcome Ms. K.RENE to the HFWB podcast series. K.RENE, this is long overdue. Welcome aboard.
Yes, what's up, you guys? It's your girl K.RENE. I'm from Corpus Christi, and thank you, Poe, for having me.
Yes, of course, of course. So, for everybody who's listening to the HFWB podcast series who hasn't figured this out, K.RENE is a rap artist within her own rights. And for everyone who's wondering, who is K.RENE? How did the name come up? What's your overall background? Let the people know.
So, for my legal name is Courtney Renee, so I just kind of made it short to K.RENE, something a little spicy, I want to keep my identity, but it's kind of my alter ego, K.RENE is somebody that's, who is apologetic. She doesn't care. She has confidence. She's for women's rights. She's just strong, powerful. She doesn't hold back. And so K.RENE is kind of set apart from Courtney. And so I kind of wanted to keep some of my identity, but separate it. So K.RENE, that's where K.RENE came from. Yeah, 'cause there were some other names in the works whenever I first got started, of course. But K.RENE just came; it was just there. So yeah, I'm from Corpus. I do live in Houston now. I do travel back and forth to do many different things, especially connect the women together in the city. Like we're gonna talk about.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with having an alter ego because, ironically enough, back to the quick story time that I mentioned, this is like an exclusive that I've never really told anybody, but most people who grew up with me know this. Of course, my name being Clifton Pope. Back when I was rapping, I had C Pope. So that was kind of like my alter ego. And I kid you not, till this day, there's still some people who still call me C Pope, and I'm just like, wow, that really stuck to y'all like that? So I'm like, I get the whole alter ego thing. It's just something that gives us that spark and that inspiration to want to create music within itself. So it's like, for you, K.RENE, where does this inspiration and spark come from to do the music and create the style that you're presenting to the overall public eye?
Well, I've always been attached to music. I've always been around music. I grew up in the church, and so I've always been into ministry, music, and then getting out of that, going into college and going into being in relationships and stuff like that. Like my child's father, he's a singer. My ex-boyfriend's a producer. So I was around my friends. They're in music, singers, producers, rappers. So I was always around it, and I've always loved to used to do poetry. And so poetry just turned into lyrics with a beat behind it. So it was just that's how it all came about. Well, I actually had an opportunity to actually start doing music, and that's what kind of just sparked the whole movement of keep going and keep showing up, and that's how you see now K.RENE. But what inspires what inspires me to get up every day and go hard for the music is my son. He's my everything. He has special needs, and so everything that I know that we need, it's gonna come from me. And so it's keep pushing, keep showing up, keep doing the things that normal people don't do, so you can have and do what they can't do and have what they can't have. So it's just
That's all it takes sometimes. I mean, it's just something about having that child looking at you and wondering what are we going to do that kind of just flips the switch within the parent. I mean, I'll be honest, I do not have kids, but I see that, and that's pretty much what I get out of it because it's just you being a loving, protecting parent and providing the best possible world you can for your child, which is what you're supposed to do at the end of the day.
Yes.
And it's crazy how you mentioned how you're like so tied into like the church and the ministry because it's something about it's like they say within every G is God. So it's just something about going back to the church and getting in tune with the gospel, which will just light you up from inside to where you can present something to the world. And that's incredible. I mean, look at what you've already done, K.RENE. I mean, you got songs like Slut Walk, Somebody Tell 'Em, just a couple that I could think of. I mean, you have multiple freestyles I saw on your YouTube and everything. It's like, I want to ask you, like, how is the energy as far as just coming up with all these concepts, different concepts I may add? Because I know you like to switch it up here and there.
Yeah, I do like to switch it up here and there. Because I love freestyles. Freestyles, I'm able to be free. I'm able to, be freestyling. So, I'm able to, just kind of go with the flow, like kind of dig deep within myself. But as far as like my style and stuff and like my wording, like Slut Walk does, a lot of people doesn't know it actually came from Amber Rose. She does these annual Slut Walks or whatever. Basically, like whorephobia, telling your story of, how women are always like pointed out to be this, absurd person. Like even when you're not, when we like love our sexuality or we love our person or we love our body, like how we're, ostracized or whatever, however you say it, like from everyone else because of things like that. And even, our stories, the reason why we are like that is because some people have already named us that way even when we weren't, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
something that we kind of fell into. And so like it's kind
Mhm.
of just like a whorephobia thing, get rid of whorephobia. And so it's like that's where I got Slut Walk came from. You can call me what you want,
Mm.
I'm still gonna be who I am. Those words
Mm.
can't more, so that's where I kind of got that from. A lot of people don't know, like it's way deeper than what you think. But
No,
yeah,
it's very deep. I love it.
I'm very
Uh,
comfortable with reality. I'm very comfortable with me and my body and that stuff. And I want like, other women not to be ashamed or, of being that way. So
No, that's great, and it's always like a deeper meaning as far as within every song that comes together. It's just people just need to learn how to read between the lines, as they
yeah.
say and stuff. But overall, I'm super proud of you. I mean, you're pretty much all over the place. I mean, you're like you said, you're going back and forth between Corpus and Houston. Next thing I know, I look up you over here in Oklahoma doing a show. Next moment, I look up somewhere like in Kansas or like down south. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if one day, K.RENE, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if you're doing a show like in Vegas or something. It would not surprise me at this point.
Okay, goals of mine. I want to go like even across the United States. I want to be like overseas and stuff.
No, that's the mission, and I definitely respect that at the end of the day. But you mentioned something earlier that caught my attention as far as your ability to bring women together, and kind of know where I'm going with this. This all female cipher, like I never seen nothing like that done before. Like I was watching it a couple of days ago, and I'm thinking to myself, "Damn, where the hell was this at 10 years ago, 20 years ago? I mean, this should have been done as far as here within this area a long time ago, and you actually just broke the mold and you just made it happen. How did that come together? Whose idea was it? What's the whole story behind that?"
So it all started because I was just like, man, I'm gonna go out to my hometown city for the summer, and I kind of wanted to, stay with my music. I'm like, I go really hard in Houston, so I want to come here for the summer. My son was, visiting his grandparents. We're getting therapy and stuff we're working on down here. So I really wanted to like stick with my music, but I was like, where are the ladies at? I kind of did a bird call of like, hey, we should have a ladies, female cipher. I've never it happening here. Then I did my research. It never happened. So I was just like, where my ladies at? I kind of did a bird call for my ladies, and they they were popping up, they were coming, and so I was like, hey, we got to put something together, we got to do this. And I'm really good at planning things, so I'm like, okay, what do we need, what I need to do first, what should we do next? And so we end up coming up with the cypher video, and then, well, the cypher track, and then the cypher video, and then the cypher event. And so, like, you know, I just want to keep the girls, and we're still, doors have been opening for each and every individual, like, woman that has tapped in with the cypher since then. And so that was like the goal, you know, to show the city, like, hey, we out here, don't overlook us. And so that was great. And also we have a part 2 coming. So yeah.
Oh wow!
My first,
See,
so we do have part 2 coming.
see, you see what I just did there? I wasn't even anticipating that. You know, I mean, I just pulled out an exclusive here on the HFWB podcast series. If you thought the first cipher was something, wait till you see part 2. I'm going to be tuned in, and just because I'm going to be tuned in, you should be tuned in as well. Just like you should be tuned in to this fun fact that I'm about to say about K.RENE that a lot of people don't even know. You used to own your own trucking brand, did you?
Yes, I did. I own my own logistics company. So I used to have a business partner. We kind of got together. We got 3 dually trucks, and we got 40-foot flatbed trailers, got them on the road, and we were hauling stuff for, I mean, Dollar General, HEB, different places all across the U.S. So that was exciting. That was fun. I am an entrepreneur at heart. So
See, and that's something right there, because a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of money behind that too, and you're making money moves all the way around, K.RENE, and I just love it. I love it completely, and it's just like you said, you're an entrepreneur at heart, and I feel like that's what we need more of in today's world, because entrepreneurs will definitely change the world eventually, one day, one step at a time, regardless. Which is why I want to ask you, K.RENE, if you can give like 3 key pieces of advice for anybody who's just up and coming, who wants to like be like their own artist and be their own hustler, for instance, and hustle in their own form of art. What would you tell them?
sorry, my son's like banging in the background. But the three things that I would give is like keep showing up. Yeah, you're gonna be seen. Just keep showing up, showing out, and showing out. Also, like do what others like don't want to do or what they can't do, because so you can have what they want, like what they can't have, and have the things that they inspired to have, but they're not willing to go out and get it. And then also, you know, do self development. Self development is a big thing with entrepreneurship. A lot of people think that you can just hop in here and then talk with other people that are in like the industry. It's like a whole other lingo. So you gotta kind of have like that personal development to help you become another whole other person that you need to become in order to be successful. So those are only 3 things, but those are major.
No, and to add on to what you said, and I love all those points, by the way, and everybody who's listening to the podcast should rewind that part and listen to that over again. And I'm going to add one more thing. Seek to understand, then to be understood. You'll be surprised on how far you can get by just doing that within itself, and that will make you highly effective, as they say.
For sure.
But other than that, K.RENE, I'm going to wrap it up and just ask you basically a list of questions that I usually ask everybody, and I'm going to add a little twist on it just for you. The first question I'm going to ask you is, what is the first thing you do or think of every single morning you wake up?
God, my spiritual guides, my help, my son, me being grateful. That's the things that I think about in the morning when I first wake up.
No, those are always wonderful things to think about based on the lifestyle that you're currently in. That's nothing wrong with that at all. I want to ask you, as far as this overall idea of wealth, right? We're always trying to chase it in some form or fashion. A lot of people don't realize it may not be what you think it is. But I want to ask you, in your own personal eyes, K.RENE, what is wealth to you?
Me able to have me first off, me being able to have time freedom, so that I don't have to, I can do what I want when I want, and don't have to worry about the price or the cost, and that I can help others. Like I can have enough to help others, and so that I can start, blessing others, and just having the overall vision of buying the block back. Like that's what I really want to do. So that's my overall wealth, getting the
Mm.
money into the black hands, so
I
yeah.
love it. Buy back the block. That's what you have to do. I mean, it's like if you want to change the world, you got to change your home first. It's like they say, why are you going to worry about someone else's yard whenever you can't even take care of your own yard first and foremost? I love that. And by doing that and buying back the block, that is how you definitely take over, and that's definitely an entrepreneur at its finest. What do you feel like, for those who were wondering, what is an entrepreneur to you, K.RENE?
Entrepreneur is somebody that's going to they're like their mindset is totally different. They don't work for somebody else to build their dreams. They work for themselves to build their own dreams and go after their own dreams. So, just going after your own vision and goals to create, if it's more opportunities for others, if it's creating a product to sell to others, whether it's creating, but you're actually the main source of that. So that's like what I believe on.
No, that's a great answer and a very different outlook for sure. And that's what the HFWB podcast series is all about, different outlooks on different things. But overall, I'm not going to lie, you probably listen to probably just as much music as I do, because I consider myself having a good ear to music and stuff. And I know there's certain people, I'm pretty sure you have an idea of who you want to do something with down the road. If you had one female rap artist and one male rap artist, who would you want to work with?
Doja Cat and Drake.
Why am I not surprised by that answer? I mean, no big deal. They are two of the most famous artists out at this very moment, respectively. I mean, come on now. Who doesn't know who Doja Cat and Drake is? If you
Right.
don't, you've been living under a rock at this point. But I want to ask you this. Who is your personal top 5 artists of all time, any genre that you could think of, that influenced you the most?
Okay, so we're gonna do Drake, Doja. They're just
Of
my top
course.
2. I love Chance the Rapper. He made a big difference, like in the music
Mm,
and so like
I
that.
like.
Especially who does gospel on the Grammys? He's Chance the Rapper.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, ooh, let's see, Nicki Minaj. You have to put her in there. She changed the game for the females all over, like
Oh,
in
oh
every
yeah.
genre. So
Yeah.
she's definitely on my
Definitely.
top. And let's see, who else? Sorry, that's my son who loves to bang on things. Sorry. But
It's all good.
who else? Number 5, I want to say Missy Elliott.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a very unique, diverse top 5 of just overall
Yeah.
influence. I mean,
I want
you
to throw
got
some more.
Doja.
I love
Huh?
Macklemore. Like right after that, Macklemore. I don't know if you know who that is, but I
Yeah,
love,
Macklemore. I know Macklemore. Yeah.
and I get a lot of creative ideas from him. So I love Macklemore. So he's like number
Yeah.
6 if I could throw one.
There's nothing wrong with Macklemore. I mean, people sleep on the art that Macklemore put out during his run and stuff. And your top 5 is very, very unique and very different in many ways. And you can make a good case on all of them. I mean, Drake is Drake, Doja is Doja, Nicki Minaj. When she came, everything just changed for female rappers forever. Chance the Rapper. I mean. Chance the Rapper is just dope within itself, and I mean, come on, the dude still probably writes for Kanye for all we know. I mean, I don't know. He used to, and he probably still does. And then Missy Elliott is very, very slept on for many different reasons, and a lot of people don't know this. And even Lil Wayne said that Missy Elliott influenced him. So if Missy Elliott can influence Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne done made pretty much all of the rappers as far as they're like his babies as far as how much they're influenced by him, that says something within itself. And a lot of people need to understand as far as like their overall rap history, because it's a history lesson within itself, and you got to really study it and understand it and break it down without question. But Overall, K.RENE, when you're not doing all the stuff that you're doing, which is I'm pretty sure is rare at times, what are some of your personal favorite hobbies that you like to do that people may not know about?
I love to, of course, I love music. I can do that. I can just jam music, drive down, and take long drives down the water, and even like in the city, just take long drives. But I love to play volleyball. I love volleyball.
Mm,
I also love to. I don't know. I have this like addiction of like watching old footage back of like shows and stuff. So I'd be like watching old shows of like people that performed like maybe back in 2004 or something. Like, I like watching old shows. And what else? I love to travel. I love to travel. I'm like a travel freak. I love to travel, which has been killing me because I've been like sitting down for a little while, but I love to travel.
there's nothing wrong with traveling, and I want to throw this in there. Where is your favorite place that you traveled so far, and where would you love to travel to?
I think Mexico and Miami are my two favorite places at the moment. But oh no, I lied. Take that back. Mexico and Vegas, because I
Mm,
actually got to experience like not only the party life like of Vegas, but I got to experience like the canyons, like and the quiet side of Vegas, which I really love so much. And the heat is
yeah.
actually there instead of humid, and I love that over the humidness. But what else? I mean, where would I want to go? I want to go to the Netherlands, and I want to
Mm.
go to Dubai.
Oh, those are wonderful places I would love to go to myself. And as far as I've never been to Mexico. I would love to go to Mexico. I have been to Vegas twice, and I can relate to what you're saying as far as the party lifestyle of Vegas and the quiet side of Vegas. Both
Yeah,
of them wonderful times. And for anyone who hasn't been to Las Vegas, especially, you need to experience it. Number one, it'll change your life. Number two, you need to experience the party lifestyle and the quiet lifestyle. Get the yin and yang out of Vegas. Take a
yeah.
gamble with both. You never know what you can get out of it, right? That's what I would say out of that. But overall, K.RENE, I just have one last question for you.
What's
If you
that?
had the opportunity to go back in time, right, and talk to yourself, say, 10 years ago, what would you tell yourself? And at the same time, where do you see yourself personally in the next 10 years?
Okay, so I would go back and tell myself, which I do have these therapy moments. I do have therapists and stuff like that. It's always good to focus on your mental health.
Yes,
Um, where I
I
go back
agree.
and self, and I tell her all the time, like, even though nobody was ever listening to you, God listened to you, and doors are opening up like for you. Just keep pushing, keep showing up, keep believing, keep being your best self, and forgive yourself whenever you fall short, and just keep going. Like that's what I would go back and tell myself, my younger self, which I still do go back and tell her every once in a while in different levels, different stages of my life. I go back and tell her, like different parts, but. As far as like in the next 10 years, I'm going global. I'm going global. You're gonna see me in the magazine. You're gonna see me and featuring with some big artists. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see me featuring with Doja Cat, the baby.
Ah!
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Global. So
hey, you might even get a feature from Drake before he
I'm
retires. I mean,
still. Oh yeah, before within the next 5 years, we're gonna be on to something. We're on to something right now. So within the next 5 years,
hey,
like
hey,
the
what,
next 10 years,
hey,
I'm gonna still I run.
I mean, what did he say? He's still got 7 more years of doing what he wants, so you might be able to
Right?
catch him within that time frame. It's starting to creep up.
Man, let me tell you, I'm gonna still be on my run in 10 years.
I got you. I got you. But speaking of that, K.RENE, now's the time to tell the people what you have coming out. How can they find you? What shows you got coming up? I mean, talk your talk.
Okay, okay. Well, you can find me on any of these. I know you guys been looking at my shirt. But at Instagram at official K.RENE, um, Facebook K.RENE, on TikTok official K.RENE, on Twitter official K.RENE. What else? On YouTube K.RENE, and you can type in any of my music, Slut Walk, He Wanna, Somebody Tell Him, any of my freestyles. And also, I have a something new coming out. I can't really tell you guys, but I am collabing with some other artists here in Corpus. I would just name a few: Gym Tunes, Brazy, who else? And yeah, those are the two that I'm working on at the moment. But I do have something else single coming out soon, and I am working with some big people. So y'all stay tuned. It's your girl K.RENE, and thank you so much, Pope, for bringing me on.
Yes, and with that being said, hey, we couldn't have ended a better way. Or go ahead.
Give some shout outs to some people if that's okay.
Nah, go ahead. This is your time to shine. Shout some people out.
Sorry, somebody was calling me back. But I want to shout out to Trap House Kitchen. Those are one of my sponsors. They've been helping me out. I love.
Shout out DQ.
Yes.
Put some respect on her name, DQ Chillis.
Really, really close friend. She's actually my son's godmother. I love her to death. And also shout out to the people that's been rocking with me. Corpus. Shout out to Breezy. She's actually one of my mentors. Shout out to DJ Threes, one of my mentors. Big Hef from Def Jam 300 and Capital Structure. He's actually one of my big mentors as well. Shout out to Wicked Wody. He's been doing all my content. He's going to continue doing all my content. YNG Bishop. He's been doing my beats. So you guys going to have some hot club bangers, some hot stuff going on with YNG Bishop. Shout out to you, Pope, for having me on. And yeah, shout out to everybody that's rocking with me. Love you guys.
And I want to add to that one of your shout outs. Shout out to Young Bishop. He's a great dude, and y'all need to collaborate with him as well. He's just he's talented in many, many ways. Not only does he do beats, not only does he make music, the man made videos, and I want to give him a special shout out because a lot of people don't know this. He made one of my first videos to help promote health, fitness, wealth, business, and a lot of people don't know that. I mean, I don't forget things like that. So I want to add on to that shout out. And most importantly, K.RENE, thank you so much for just taking time out of your busy schedule just to even sit down, hang out with yours truly, Clifton Pope, on the HFWB podcast series. It's all love.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And for those who are listening and those who are watching, this is yours truly, Clifton Pope from Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business. I encourage everybody to stay healthy, wealthy, and blessed. And until next time, peace and love, y'all.